Hello and welcome to our special show Masterclass with me, Priyanka Chawla. Now, the impact of coronavirus outbreak on education sector can't be ignored. Students across the country are making the transition to an online format to finish out the school or college year. What appears like a mini vacation to some, in reality, workload has just got a bit harder. On a very short notice, there are a host of complications to be addressed, from laptops and free internet access to mental health and financial needs, while all the education institutions remain shut till March 31st. Well, that's our topic on the masterclass today: challenges in education amidst coronavirus outbreak. And it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you to our esteemed panel of guests on the show. Our first guest, Dr. Vikram Singh, former Director General Police of UP and Chancellor of NIU Noida. We also have Mr. Ashok Pandey, Director Alcorn Schools, and Sri Raj Nehru, Vice Chancellor for Vishwakarma Skills University and Mission Director for Haryana Government as well. I welcome you all to our show, and it's called Masterclass. Dr. Vikram, if I could start the show with you, what do you think is the biggest challenge for students and teachers in a university such as yours?
It is no longer a choice. Online tutorials and classes are a compulsion, and we have to face the reality that in the foreseeable future we may not be able to have face-to-face classrooms. They are a luxury for which we will have to wait. But as you very rightly said in your opening remarks, there are difficulties that we have to face. Hardware and software compatibility, computer literacy, even education. I would not fault the students, I would not fault anyone. But I would say that we all have to upgrade our skills, the faculty to begin with, the students number two, and our IT professionals. Because starting off suddenly, because this is not something that we have been prepared for, we have to work over time to ensure that everything is in position. The classroom, the curriculum, the students, the broadband connectivity, and our IT services, and the backstage boys and girls who have to ensure that our virtual classrooms are effective. Then the tutorials will have to be modeled in a manner that they are intelligible to the students. Because if I serve something and it makes no sense to the students, then I think I have not done what I'm expected to do. Therefore, it has to be a composite package catering not only to technology, catering not only to the acceptability of the students, but also train our faculty also for interactive sessions, and one especially in the science subjects.
Absolutely.
We have students from 27 countries, and then how to cater to their language requirements, the language requirements of diverse requirements all over the country. These are the issues which I would like to be enlightened upon by our learned speakers in the show today.
Absolutely, Mr. Vikram Singh, you rightly said that students and the faculty has to come together. As we were discussing with Mr. Vikram Singh, internet connectivity is going to be a big aspect as India, adapts digital learning. Mr. Vikram Singh, if I could go to you, what do you think with subjects like science, where you have to be in the laboratory for experiments and the physical environment for the classroom is important? How these kind of subjects are tackled in NYU as solving this problem right now?
Very good question. And now please understand that the trailer has already begun. You see that in spite of everything that we have going, but things are not infallible. Now, science and mathematics are the two areas. Mathematics, of course, has no laboratory work. But subjects like physics, chemistry, biology, they require a lot of extensive agriculture, a lot of practical work and a lot of laboratory work. We can, of course, do the theoretical part of the practicals, only the theoretical part. But the more important question, which is even more, addressing the queries and the questions. How well can we address the questions and the queries? And you very rightly mentioned, Dr. Ashok, I wish I could have listened to him, and the other learned speaker also, have a vast experience behind them. I would strongly recommend hand-holding. Hand-holding in the sense that there has to be a connect between the teacher and the taught, and they should never feel that they have been abandoned just by giving a PPT presentation via a YouTube. No, it doesn't work that way. Constant that you be available 24/7. Students watch, work at their own pace, at their own leisure. Therefore, the teacher will have to be available to the students, and the queries, they have to be, apart from the FAQs, frequently asked questions, there have to be legitimate addressal of the questions, the inquiries, and the questions that the students may have. Many of the questions can be addressed, but there are certain questions that I feel can have to be wait till there is face-to-face interaction,
Yes.
especially pertaining to mathematics. physics,
Absolutely.
and
Mr. Vikram Singh, as you were rightly pointing out that physical contact is also necessary and not just the PPTs. We are also getting a caller right now who has a question for you, sir. If you could answer that. Umang Bishnoi from Gurgaon, please put across your question for Mr. Vikram Singh.
Hello, sir. So my question to you is, at the trauma that is being caused due to this lockdown, I mean, it has surely affected us all in many ways, but we all know how scary this situation is. But being in this situation with lockdown all around the state, how do you suggest that we can stay focused on our studies?
Mr. Singh, if you could hear the question put across by Bishnoi from Gurgaon, he's asking how do we handle this kind of times when there is so much of pressure and there is a lockdown as well. How do they handle the stress about their studies right now?
I think, Mr. Bishnoi, that the very fact that you are so articulate, you know, and you have addressed the problem. There's always a solution. And my request to you would be, and my advice to you would be, prepare the list of the core areas and try to master them. There are any number of resources available on the net. There are excellent publications available in the market. Please prepare them. Prepare a set of questions for your teachers and post them by email or by any other platform. And prepare yourself in a manner that do not expect that something will take you by surprise during the course of the examination. Prepare yourself from the resources on the net, from the books, and then put your questions to your teachers. Prepare yourself well, and I wish you all the very best. I'm sure you'll come out with flying colors, Mr. Bishnoi.
Thank you for those comforting words, Mr. Vikram Singh. We have Mr. Raj Nehru back on the show with us. Sir, if I could ask you, what do you think are the top 3 things that the government can do for all the education institutions and their faculties in the lockdown?
I think that's one important thing that I want to communicate through this platform is all the students, viewers, stay safe and stay home as long as this situation is going. So, couple of things that governments can do. One is today there are so many platforms available, and especially at the state level, the universities together can leverage those platforms and make sure that the students who are working and operating from home right now do not miss their classes, and make sure that these platforms, some universities may have, some may not have, they should come together and collaborate, and government, especially the higher education department or the technical education department, can make sure that these platforms are leveraged by the institutions collectively. Second is there is a need to orient the faculties, because most of the faculties may not today be completely well versed with these new tools. So it's a duty and responsibility that faculty orientation should also happen digitally, so that they are able to run their sessions successfully. And the third important thing is, it's not only running a digital class while students come and log in. Most important thing is how to run the digital classes. Today, digital class running is also an art as well as a skill. So those aspects also have to be kept in mind. The most important part is the continuity through a good network. Because if there is not a good network, there is always probability that you may have drops in the session, which can sometimes distract or demotivate the user. So such things should be in advance communicated with the students. I think another area that the faculties should use is the chat boxes. Many students who may not be able to ask questions on the digital platform, the faculties must make sure that they are using the chat boxes for students at specific times for seeking clarity and clarification for certain queries. I think challenging times always give you great opportunities to explore, and I think this is a great time for educational institutions to explore this digital world and find the fineness and the opportunities that it will unfold as we move forward.